Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! So anyway, I hope you're all doing great. And today, Starlight is working on changing a lot. I've been a busy little girl here, doing a lot of changes on my YouTube channel. And besides, I got background work that I've been working on. So anyway, we're going to just jump right in this video, and I'll tell you what, I've never been here before, but I'll tell you what, we got a treat for you today. It's like I've worked my ass off all week, and this is my reward today. Starlight disciplined herself all week, and look at these beautiful trees. These are so beautiful. This is a beautiful place here. I have never been here before, so this is the first time. So anyway, hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, don't forget you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can also leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you can share my videos with your family, your friends. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, and you can check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So on this video, I just like most videos but right now, because Starlight has been changing things on her YouTube channel, is today it's an interesting topic, and it's about red light, yellow light, green light. Yeah, the traffic light. In life, there's times, I'm going to start with the red light because I had to Google that, figure out what one goes first, is the red light. There's the way society is, we're always in a rush. Rush. Got to go here, got to go there. And I understand that because, this morning, I had to, wake up, then, go get my coffee, and then, then go to, where I go to drink my coffee, and then, I got to hurry up, and I'm not actually in a hurry, though. See, that's the thing. I don't need to hurry anymore. God has taught me on this mission here, on this trip, on this journey here that I'm on, is, I don't need to be in a rush anymore. And that is what society has taught us. It's really something. I see this so many times in my life. So the red light, we need to stop. We need to stop. We need to stop and just sit with ourselves, sit with yourself. And, do you ever just sit with yourself and do absolutely nothing like I do? Because I meditate, and that's why a lot of times, people, go through so much in life because they don't even sit down with themselves. They don't really connect with themselves. They don't connect with God. Now tomorrow is going to be Sunday. So of course I don't know when this video is going to be uploaded because Starlight's working on different things right now, seeing what goes. And so with Sunday, people go to church, and then they hurry up, and then after they go to church, then, who knows what they do. A lot of people probably can't wait to get out of church just to go somewhere, do something. But we got to sit with ourselves. We need that time. And there's times that God is going to tell us to stop. We could be in such a rush and going from here to there. And maybe you're going in, you're going too fast and you're going into a big disaster. But you're not going to notice because you're, thinking that you got to hurry up and be in a rush all the time. And it is sad because I knew this a long time ago. Zoom out here. Long time ago, I've dated some of the exes in my past is, they were in a rush to drive, got to be in the car, got to hurry up, got to go, and so it was interesting because Starlight was long time ago. I always obeyed by the laws and obeyed by the rules, and So, I might, if it said 50, I was going 55. I wouldn't go past 55. And there was many times that, a person that I went out with before, we had our two vehicles, and we were going to go to the same place or head back to the house. And so it's kind of funny. It was really interesting. So, his son, would have jumped in his vehicle and I would have been in my vehicle, and we're heading to the house, and kind of weird, how, did he go by the speeding signs? No, he was speeding the whole way to get there, but we got there at the same time. I was doing the speed limit. And, because of the lights and the stop signs and the traffic, it really kind of, I was like, this is so funny. I laughed all the time. I'm like, this is so funny. I was a safe driver, at that time, doing the speed limit sign, the speed limits, where he was being very dangerous, not caring about anybody, not himself, not anybody on the road, not even his, his own son, and, there's times that we're going so fast we don't even get to, like right now, isn't it so beautiful, just to sit with yourself and, get out with nature. And this, I needed this today. I really did. This is my reward for, I worked my butt off all week doing different things, making adjustments, doing this, doing that, doing this, helping this person out over here, trying to, and, so it is really challenging, and to do what God wants me to do and doing things in the right order, in life is God first, then me. But, of course, sometimes Starlight gets things in the wrong order or whatever, but we need to make time to sit with ourselves. We need to stop, just like a person that's driving reckless on the road, you got to slow down, you got to stop, because you got to sit with yourself and really find out what is going on, with, what does God want you to do? People think that they're getting somewhere by being so fast. You're missing out. I always said a long time ago when I was in, they would say that, oh, Starlight, they said that I was special, and I never really understood that, being in a special class, which really all the kids called it a retard class. I never understood that, is I'm special, but they put me in this class and all the kids call it a retard class, and then they told me that I was a slow learner. And it didn't make any sense even when I was younger that I was a slow learner, because the way I looked at it, I was picking all the stuff everybody else left. I was under, they were in such a rush to hurry up and learn things and hurry up and take the test. Well, how about all the rest of the stuff they missed? So you really got to really stop and think about what you're doing in life. Really, what you're doing in life, is it really making sense? Does it need to make sense? You got to, sit with yourself and think about where your life is going and what are you doing? Are you too distracted in life to even, pay attention to what's right in front of you? And that is what goes on in this society, is that we're so distracted. We don't even we don't even enjoy what's in front of us. We don't even enjoy spending time with our family, or talking with them. People are in so much a rush, they can't even, you can call them up on the phone. They don't even have time to even talk to you on the phone. Why? Because they're too busy working on something else, So we have to be there for the people that are there for us. And that can be challenging at times in our life. Like I said, God first, then you, then the people. And if, I was just helping a lady out yesterday, I spent hours talking with her. I talked with like 3 different people yesterday, helping them out, being of service, and, this lady actually is kind of funny. We talked for a bit, and she was going to actually head out of McDonald's and go somewhere. And, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, then I can get going and get my day going. But it's so funny. is that she really loved everything that she was learning about what how God was using me, and how God was using my wisdom and the storytelling time that I had to help her out in the situation that she's in. She ended up staying there. She didn't even go anywhere. She stayed there way longer than I thought, but it didn't matter to me because I wanted to be of service to God. I wanted to help this lady out. I wasn't in a rush, and so the red light, we need to stop and sit with ourselves sometime. And the yellow light, we need to slow down in life. We need to slow down, just like, I told you about the story of driving too fast and trying to hurry up and get somewhere. You're not getting any faster than anybody else. And I see people, they go into McDonald's, because I that's where I go in the morning to start my day off, because it's dark out still. Can't read my Bible, and I don't like sitting in my car reading my Bible. I like getting out of my car, is that, we need to slow down in life, and, just to understand, like going at McDonald's, there's people that they'll do their order ahead of time, right? They'll order it. Even like these other people that they go to McDonald's, and I don't get these names because I don't do all this stuff, but they have these people that will, you can get in contact with them, and then they will go to McDonald's and they will pick up the food for you. Everybody wants everything quick. Now, I understand if you're handicapped and you have no car and you want McDonald's to call those numbers up. I totally get it. Yeah, you don't have a car, you have a way of there, to get there. Who would want to go on a bus or take a taxi just to go to McDonald's, just to get a sandwich and then go back home? So it is it doesn't make any sense for, people that order those things, like at McDonald's, have somebody to come and pick up their food. Hang on. And so they show up at McDonald's, the order's already been made. They think that they're going to put, and then they got the special parking spots for these cars, so they can park their cars in those spots. Or even if you as a human being don't want to, it's crazy what they're doing with us. It's like you can walk into the building and get your food, or you can go through drive-through, or you can actually make your order and then park outside in a special parking spot, so then they will come out and hand the food for you. Or you can actually get in contact with somebody and they can actually drive to McDonald's or wherever you're going, wherever you want to get food picked up, or they can go and do it for you by going out there, and then you pay them money for going out and picking it up and bringing it back. But what I'm noticing I'm laughing. It is funny in a way, because even the people that want things quick, they get to McDonald's, and you know what? You ready for this? Because I see it all the time. I'm laughing because I'm not like this. I am that girl that will purposely put myself in situations so I have to sit and wait. So it teaches me patience, because I'm like, I was that chick long time ago that would get behind my car and the steering wheel of my car, and get upset with people in front of me because they were going too slow, in the town, or, because they weren't paying attention. That's what really was getting me. They weren't paying attention, and I had to go somewhere. I really did, go to work. I was running late. It was my fault, really, because it wasn't their fault. It was my fault not leaving ahead of time early. But it is funny how people will go to McDonald's thinking that, hey, I did everything, on the app, I ordered it, and they get there, they're short-staffed. So it really didn't, they weren't getting shit, there's a whole line. They walk in the door and it hits them so hard, it's like, boom. They see all these people standing around waiting for their orders. So we need to slow down, are you guilty of being one of those people that, think that you're going to get it quicker just because you called it, you did the app, you went on the app and you're like, yeah, let's order ahead of time, get there. And then you get in there thinking that everything's going to be there when you get in the door and you look at the counter, there's no sandwich bags there. It's like, what the fuck? Starlet used to wear, I know. Because that's how shocking it is. That's how people feel. They might not express that, but really, if they were that would be a great word to use to when you go in there thinking your food's going to be there and it's going to be ready and it's not because you're short-staffed. Or they might have they might have a bunch of people that they're, right now, they don't have that speed. When I got, it's fun getting trained for a fast food place. They start you off at a certain time in the day and they got somebody that's on the side helping you and showing you how to do things or whatever. Well, actually, they show you how to do everything, and then they kind of gradually get you to do it on your own. But, and then what else happens at McDonald's or any fast food place? Since you got a lot of new workers at a lot of these places, because a lot of people don't last long, at these places, is that people make mistakes. So that's another, because I'll tell you what, I was at a McDonald's and I was like, wow, they always had people standing around, and I seen people coming in, they would go in, get their food, go out, come back because the order was wrong, and they would get upset, So we really need to slow the blank down, because you're not going to get there any faster, just like if I rode a bicycle through here, I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I would when I'm walking through here. So in life we need to slow down because, you're going to miss something on the way. You're going to miss something that because you're going too fast. You're going to, just like on a road, like, people looking for an address, if you're going too fast, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss out on things that God has for you because you're so much wanting to hurry up. And that's what the society is teaching us, People, I make like half-hour videos or even longer or even shorter. And, it's pretty bad. People don't even, the attention span is so bad that, if it's not like a TikTok video, they don't want to watch it. But only the people that really are serious about working on themselves will take the time out to watch those videos. And it's funny, like my mentor makes videos and they're short videos. But I'll tell you what, if his videos were longer, I would sit there. I want more. I want more of this stuff, because I do want to work on myself, so it's amazing how people are, and it's not getting better these days because of, the technology. And now we did the red, yellow, and now green, the green light. So green light, this is when we got to be ready. We got to jump, like I just was, I get people that I talk to them and they say they want to do this and they, and I tell them, just do it, just do it. That's my, yeah, I don't know if it's sneakers, just do it. So I'm not really into all these brand names and all this stuff, but I know I think it's on sneakers, just do it, or maybe, I don't know who created that stuff. So, but yes, there's times that we got to just go for it. We got to get out of our comfort zone. We got to, do what's uncomfortable, and face our fears and just, stop having, people stop us. There's times that we got to go for something. And I say this over and over again on other videos. It's just like, I go to a lot of food pantries and 75% of what I pick up actually goes to homeless people. So imagine all the places I go to where 75% of the stuff I end up, it can cause a lot of problems for me in my car because it could be stuff that's, it's refrigerated stuff. It could be, things that I got to take care of, so with going in all these food banks is, there's people that will go to these food banks and it might tell you that you gotta, the food bank starts at a certain time. and it ends at a certain time. Sometimes it will just say it will start at a certain time and you don't know when it's going to end because they don't know how many people are going to show up. So I'll tell you what, you got to get going. You got to show up ahead of time on these food banks most of the time. Just like a job, you got to get out there and go. You don't want to be the last one going out for a job because you're never going to get it. People will get upset. They'll get upset. They'll go to a food bank or go, they didn't get that job. They didn't get that house. They didn't get that apartment. They didn't get that car that they wanted. They lost out. Why? Because they were sitting around and they didn't do shit. They didn't do nothing about it. You got to understand, life is not going to happen for you. You got to be the one that go out and take some action. You got to get up and you got to go for it. Even like if you're interested in a guy or a girl, if you spent time with yourself and you've been, working on yourself and you're like, hey, I've been doing the work. I'm ready. You know what? You better take action, because if that girl that you see or that guy that you see, they're exactly what you desire in your life. You see that they're, it's not about the outside appearance, that you're like, that person would be a good fit for me, a lifetime partner. Look at all the things that they're doing. Well, you better get out there, that's the time to go. That's the time to go, You don't want to sit around because some other guy or some other girl is going to come along and you're going to lose that opportunity of having that lifetime partner that could possibly work out for you, just like a job or a car. There's people, they'll get so upset, like I was saying at the food bank, isn't it so beautiful out here? So at a food bank, people will get upset with the people. They'll yell, they'll scream, have a fit, treat the people, disrespectful that they're out there handing out food. Well, guess what? It's not the church people, whoever's running the food banks, it's not their fault that you showed up so late and wonder why there's nothing left. So it's like the early bird gets the worm. That's what if you really want something, you got to get out there and go for it. You got to go take it like it's yours. You can't wait for it, that's not the time to just sit there and, and don't get mad at other people because they were out there. There's times I brought food out to some places at a library somewhere that I was. They had a refrigerator outside the library. I had a lot of food that I was bringing to this place. They actually, because I started showing up, and it kind of sad is because by the time I was starting to show up, I had so much food to put there. They didn't have enough refrigerator space or enough space to put food out there. So they ended up building another thing. So then the refrigerator wouldn't get wet. And they, even the place that was actually having the refrigerator out there, they were even taking some of the food I put out there. And I didn't care because it was helping the kids out that they were watching. So is that there was people, and I'll tell you what, when they saw me coming, I got their attention. I'm like, hey, I got some food here. I'm bringing it here. You can have whatever you want. And I kind of was like, wow, I couldn't believe how these people were. There was an older lady and an older guy, man, and there's another lady. I watched all three of them. There was one lady, she was grabbing everything that she could take. She's like, hey, I'm grabbing that, I'm grabbing this, I'm grabbing that, I'm grabbing this. There was a lady that was there that was watching her, grabbing all this stuff, wasn't doing nothing. And I don't want these ladies to fight over the food, but man, who are you going to be? Are you going to be the one, hey, yeah, there's food in this refrigerator, I'm gonna grab some of this. And now three people, okay? One guy, he was not taking everything. He was just taking here and taking this. He might have not liked everything, but he didn't want to take it all, because he wanted to leave some for others. So he wasn't just thinking about himself. So it's three different scenarios with three different people. One that was only thinking about themselves, not thinking of others. The one was thinking about himself and he was thinking about the others. And the other wasn't even taking anything for herself at all. I'm not going to step in there and, they got to figure that out. So you want to be like the guy, because the guy was thinking about himself and he was thinking about others. He didn't want to take that many tomatoes. He didn't want to take that many apples. You know, he was thinking about others. He could have took all the tomatoes, and he could have took, you know, that other lady, man, when she's seen something, she was taking all of it. She wasn't thinking about anybody but herself. So anyway, I got prickers on my pants. How did I get that? So anyway, hang on. I just got to get out in the shade here. So yes, you gotta, you know, the red light, there's times that we gotta sit still, you know, meditate. Meditate is really good. Get out in the woods somewhere. Sit, you know what? I love getting out by water. Sit, you know, sit with yourself. Sit with your emotions. Sit, you know, with God. Talk to God. Sometimes we gotta be, you know, the yellow light. Slow that blank down. You know, slow down, enjoy life, enjoy, you know, a nature trip, you know, enjoy your family. You know, hey, I'm going to go visit my family, hurry up and drive away. You know, sometimes we've got to do that with some relatives, right? And then there's times that we got to, you know, go for things, you know, don't, you know, like, don't let other people, you know, take your blessings away. You know, that's out there for the, you know, the taking. You know, like that job or that car, you know, if you're going to be, you know, if you're looking for a car, go, you got to just do it. Go out there and get it, you know, and that goes with anything. So anyway, I love you, and thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a message down below, beep, 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 plus you could share my videos with your family or friends, and don't forget the notification bell, and check out my playlist. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.